Good evening. This is April Mitchell for Infm655. This is part 2 of the group vendor selection product risk assessment, where we were to go in as groups and to choose from the safer guides the sheets that we wanted to work for our particular project. My group and I, we are doing the medical billing, clinical workflow, and patient registration piece for the project. And we thought that it was best that we choose the patient identification from the clinical process guides, as well as clinical communication from the clinical process guides for our piece of the project. We chose from section, from the patient identification, we chose section 1.1. And for the clinical process, or I'm sorry, the clinical communication, we chose section 2.3. So for as far as patient identification, we just came up with different scenarios as far as our worksheet was concerned. I think it's on page 15 of this one. Let me go to page, 15. It's 1.1, where it basically explains the recommended practice of an enterprise-wide master patient index that includes patient demographic information and medical record number, or multiple numbers if used by different parts of the same organization, along with primary numbering key if it's used to identify patients before importing data. So we just went through some assessment notes, some scenarios that may pertain to our list and what we wanted to look for. Some of our assessment notes that we came up with was Athenia Clinicals has patient matching algorithms to use patient name, date of birth, address, and other demographics to prevent duplication. Also, Athenia Clinicals has barcoding technology to match labs, referrals, etc. from insurance companies and non-EHR specialists to the existing patient record, meaning that if a particular a doctor that they are working with is not on the Athenia Clinicals EHR system, then there is an assigned number, like a patient number, some sort of identification code or barcode that can be used that goes down to the scanning department at the particular facility. They put that barcode on it and it matches up to the patient record. So there's no duplication and the records are attached to that patient's chart. Also, Athenia Clinicals is capable of linking primary patient demographics to other family member demographics to avoid duplication. So you can't have the mom come in and the dad comes in and the son comes in and everybody's records is everywhere. As long as the addresses are matching, it can link the whole patient file together just in case mom need to call and find out what happened with her son. Be able to cross-reference that quickly without having to you have separate records, but they all can be linked, which is important. The follow-up actions that we have for this piece was need to verify if Athenia Clinicals EHR has alerts or hard stop messaging to detect possible duplication of patient medical record. And what we meant by that was sometimes there may be an instance where a record comes in and it is or you may try to enter someone's information and you don't realize it's already there. But there should be some sort of piece, some sort of recognition built into the code that will present some sort of alert or a hard stop and say, hey, are you sure, before you add that record, so it won't duplicate or it won't allow you to duplicate at all. So that's the one thing that we need to check on to make sure that it has that type of programming. Okay, so the next one that we worked on from the same group, clinical process guides, it was section 2.3. And that 2.3 was basically referring to clinicians are able to electronically assess current patient and clinician contact information and identify clinicians currently involved in a patient's care. That's all about care continuum and making sure that everyone is connected, interoperability type of thing. So for that, we our rationale for practice The assessment notes that we made about Athenia Clinical's EHR was the ability to store all pertinent patient medical history, including medications, previous lab work, and imaging for a given record. The information is easily shared from department to department among the care team for the patient. And also Athenia Clinical's EHR will update all care team providers' contact information in real time. It will use an internal web-based search via point-click of provider data and attach the name and address of the provider to the patient face sheet within the chart. This will allow secure and safe coordination of patient care. What we need to follow up on our actions were need to ensure that patient intake forms or online registration requires patients to provide all pharmacy and primary care provider information, which is critical to continuum of care, because without good current contact information, it will make it difficult for the providers to share information and provide the information that's needed. Need to ensure manual data entry of intake forms received for all patients into the EHR. So basically, you have to have a dedicated person to enter any manual forms, where you have some patients that just don't have access to the internet to do those things online via the patient portal. Also, need to check sent and received reporting to ensure transactions do not error, including generating an error report listing failed transactions. What we were saying there was that we need to make sure that for everything that's entered via online patient portal or via data entry, that they go across to another care continuum, that transaction does not fail. So there needs to be some sort of mechanism, some sort of report to catch any failed transactions, because you don't want to have that would impede on patient care if there's an x-ray or a chart with some diagnosis information or some continuation of care information that the next provider needs to know, and it doesn't get there because it failed for whatever reason. So therefore, that is the two things that we talked about in my group as far as product risk assessment was concerned. Let me know what your feedback is. Thank you so much. Bye.